simply that they know something you don't know. Either way, what you know is that this is a bad gift. And you have to figure out how to make this bad gift work. There is a young person right now with a sweater on, and there is a woman with a piece of jewelry on, a teenager with a pair of jeans, and a man with another tie that needs to be cast into oblivion, wondering the same things that we all wonder. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to say to the people who see you with it? What are you going to say to the person who got it for you? Can you re-gift it? Is there a way that I can hide it? Did it come with a gift receipt? How many excuses can I make up for not using this gift? We've all been there. We've all at least thought about it. But this text message shows us a few things that may help us understand how to make a bad gift work. But not regular gifts. I'm talking about gifts, those things that show up in life that were free, that you didn't pay for and you didn't ask for. Those bad gifts, the bad gifts of sickness, and the bad gifts of loneliness and trouble and heartache and messed up families and holes that we can't get out of, relationships that are always painful, parents that are always unreliable, a bad deal in life, and everything else that we didn't ask for. Those things that make it hard for you to give God praise on Sunday, make it hard to be happy about where you are now compared to where you could be right now. Those things that make you act like God hasn't done enough because he simply hasn't done or gotten rid of one more thing. How do we make a bad gift work? An explanation is necessary. There are two things in this story that I want to look at, just two, and we're going to be on our way, and how to make a bad gift work. Number one is who gives it to us. And number two is what did you get? Who gives it to us and what did you get? To get a better idea for the story, I figured that I would use my spiritual imagination to talk to the author as I attempt to do from time to time. So I said, yo, Matthew, what's really good with you? He said, nothing much. I'm chilling. How was your Christmas? Did Santa come and visit? I said, very funny. Christmas was good. And no, Santa did not come and visit. If I ever see a strange man in my house with a bag full of anything, you can presume I'm going to be on the naughty list for that. Now, can you do me a favor and give me a quick breakdown of what is going on in this text message that you sent me, chapter 2, 1 through 16 or so? He said, cool, this is what happened. Wise men from the east came to see King Herod and asked him if he knew where a child had been born as king of the Jews. They had traveled a long way following a star and bringing gifts. The king not only did not know where the baby was, but he was also frightened that his kingdom might be at risk if another king was around. I said, I remember this. He tells the wise men that if they go to Bethlehem and find the child, to let him know so he could go worship the child as well. Matthew said, yep, that's exactly what happened. So the wise men keep following the star until they get to Jesus' house. They bow down and present the gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Then leave without reporting back to King Herod. Herod gets so upset that he kills all the male children in the area, 2 years old and younger, just to make sure that this baby doesn't become a threat. Jesus and his family had already left and didn't come back until after Herod's death. I said, man, that's a deep story. He said, yeah, it is. I said, listen, man, I got a question. He said, what's that? I said, what is a 2-year-old going to do with gold, frankincense, and myrrh? He said, actually, I never thought about that way. Some people say that Mary and Joseph could have used the gold, but I don't really know what they would have done with the frankincense and myrrh other than possibly sell it. I said, cool, thanks a lot, man. I'll get at you later. He said, peace. So if you really want to know what to do with those bad gifts in your life, what to do with the bad things, experiences, moments, and situations, the first thing that you want to look at is who gives it to us. At approximately 2 years old, Jesus got gold, frankincense, and myrrh. At 2, he got gold, frankincense, and myrrh. As far as a 2-year-old is concerned, this is not a good gift. This goes into the bad gift section. But let's look at who gave it to him. Wise men came from another country came to the house, bowed down, paid homage to him, and gave an approximately 2-year-old Jesus expensive gifts. Imagine somebody coming to your house and giving your nephew or your niece or your little cousin or your child, let's say, a ring, a Bentley, and a house. It just doesn't seem to make sense. Obviously, they knew something about this boy that somebody else didn't know. And they gave their gift based on what they knew. For instance, I'll buy gifts for my wife depending on what she won't buy for herself. I know well enough that what she won't get, I can get. I know that well enough. I know some things that other people may not know. Sometimes the things that we go through in our lives, the chances that we get or don't get, the opportunities that we take or don't take, the drama that we have, the blessings we have, the relationships and the problems are based on the fact that the giver of these gifts knows something that we may not know. There are a lot of things that God allows us to go through that we would have never chosen to go through ourselves. But the reality is that God knows something that we don't know. The same way that whoever gave you those socks knew that it was going to get cold enough one day for you to put them on. The same way that whoever gave you that jewelry or that outfit thinks that you would look better in that than the stuff that you've been wearing. The same way that whoever got you that sweater instead of the cell phone knew that a phone could not keep you warm on a cold day. God knows why you are getting the bad gifts that you are getting. You didn't ask for it and you didn't want it, but you got it for a reason. Now when it comes to God, a gift doesn't seem bad, but it seems more, as Pastor Jones said this morning, appropriate. We always consider appropriate gifts bad gifts. Don't give me something I need, give me something that I want. Give me something I need, that's a bad gift. Give me something I want. That's a good gift. But I know what you're thinking. Everything that happens in your life, the stuff that you're going through cannot all be of God. It's too far away from God. It has too much sin wrapped up in it to be of God. Well, you just might be right. If you look at the story, King Herod sent out to have all the male children 2 years old and under killed. He attacked the entire community to make sure that he stayed in control. And that is what the enemy does. If there's anything in your life set up to destroy you and the surrounding community, I can guarantee you that it is not of God. Now this is a sermon within itself, so I'm not going to stay here long, but how many community situations destroy who we are? How many people have died? How many people remain ignorant? How many families have been torn apart? How many relationships are ripped to shreds? How many parents are no good? How many children are lost? How many have been raped and molested, abused and reused? How many people have no hope? That's attacking the entire community just to make sure that you don't make it. I can't stay there long, but I need you to think about that for a minute. Think about the influences that destroy a community. Take out a people just so you don't make it. But let us not forget that what the devil means for evil, God still means for good. So even those things that were set up to kill can be turned into a gift from God. And that's one extreme. That's the enemy's extreme. The other extreme that we don't want to talk about are the things that we get ourselves into. It's not a bad gift. It's not the enemy trying to destroy you. It's our fault. And we try to take that stuff and add it into what God has us going through. It's always a natural inclination for people that believe in God. There are things that go on in your life that you're going to go through anyway. And then there's stuff that you got yourself into. And because you believe in God, you just lump it all in the same basket and say, the Lord is bringing me through some stuff. No, half of it you got yourself into. Just be honest. You don't like to get it. No. That STD you got from sleeping with everybody is not a bad gift from God. You got that from one of them. All those bad decisions that we made that's coming around to bite us, that's not a bad gift. We did that. The diseases that we saw coming a mile away, that's us. The schools that we